so this is the next day. We're still solving by elimination. Okay, so I'm gonna do this first one, then I'll do this one, and then we'll do the left side. So you're basically always doing the right side. Okay. All right. Let's look at this. It's already in standard form, so we don't have to do any movement. We have to figure out, are we gonna add or subtract though? Okay. Well, that's not what we're doing because look what it read. See, again, this man is just going ahead and not reading. Multiply one of the equations by a number that will allow you to cancel out one variable with addition or subtraction. So I'm looking to see which one would be easiest to multiply. And it's really up to you because for this one right here, it led us with x with at least one of both of them having a 1. Okay, here's a 1x and here's a 1y. So that's really up to you on which one you want to get rid of. Now, I like doing the addition versus subtraction. So what I'm going to do is I want to multiply that top one by 3 because it's already has a negative right here, and that's a positive. So I could just easily add them and be able to get rid of the y value. Okay, so I'm going to multiply and show you that I'm going to multiply everybody in that equation by 3 because that's how I can get a negative 3 at the top. Okay, so I'm going to do my arrow to show you, hey, this is going to be 6x minus 3y equals negative 75. And press enter, and I'm going to tab over so that we can be underneath here. And we're going to put plus x. And it went all the way over here, didn't it? All right, let's undo that real quick. Plus x plus 3y equals 5. I'm going to underline it because this is what's going to be our result after we do this. And then tab over. 6 plus 1 is going to be 7, so 7x. The 3y's are going to cancel out because one's negative, one's positive. And then negative 75 plus 5 is going to be negative 70. All right, my next step is now I'm going to underline to show that I'm going to divide everybody by the number in front of the x, which is 7. We're going to press enter here, tab over, and then space. We're doing 7, space 7. Press enter, tab over. X will equal negative 10. Okay, now what I'm going to do, and this should be a lowercase x, I'm going to plug it in. It doesn't matter which one I plug it into. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the top one. 2 times negative 10 minus y equals negative 25. Negative 20 minus y is equal to negative 25. I'm going to add 20 because that's the opposite of a negative 20. This gives me negative y is equal to negative 5. I'm going to divide both of them by negative 1 to make that a positive y because that's what I want my y to be. I need it to be positive in order for me to say that my equation is done. So y is equal to a positive 5 because a negative 5 divided by a negative 1 is a positive 5. I'm going to tab over so we have room to say that my answer is negative 10, comma 5. Now, I didn't talk about this in the other videos, but if you want to double check your work, you can. You can go over here to the top, tab over, and put negative 10 plus 3 times 5. That should equal 5. We tab over, and we get negative 10 plus 15 equals 5, and that does. Negative 10 plus 15 does equal 5, so it checks out. We de-underline that, and that's true. 5 equals 5. Right, this is just to check, just in case you wanted to check to make sure that the answer would work for both of them. Okay, you're doing the right. Okay, let's do this one. All right, both of them. I think my easiest one to get rid of would be the y because it already has a positive and a negative in there. I just need to figure out what can I multiply 4 to make it be an 8. Okay. Because 8 is the least common multiple that they have in common. Well, 2 times 4 is 8. So I'm going to do 2 parentheses 4x plus 4y equals 52. Do my arrow over. to show that I'm going to get 8x plus 8y is equal to 104. I'm going to press enter and tab over, and I'm going to be adding plus x minus 8y equals 4. Let's put that over a little bit more so we can be under the x. Underline this. And then we're going to de-underline, tab over, and we're going to 8x plus 1x is 9x. The negative and the positive 8 are going to cancel out, so I'm not going to have a y anymore. And 104 plus 4 is 108. I'm going to divide both of these numbers by 9 because that is the coefficient of x. And I want x to be 1. 9 over 9. X is equal to 12. Now we go back and I'm going to plug it into the first one just because. So it's 12 minus 8y because I want to show you that it doesn't matter. Subtract 12 because they're both, it was in positive and I want to get rid of it, so it has to be negative. Negative 8y is left over, minus 8. I'm going to underline both of these to show that I need to divide, and I'm going to divide by the coefficient of y, which is going to be negative 8. Take the underline off. Negative 8 divided by negative 8. Y is equal to a positive 1. Tab over to show you that my answer is 12, comma 1. Right, you're going to do this side. Alright, let's do these two. Oh, hey, they have two negative y's, so that means I'm going to want to subtract. So let me write 2x minus y equals 17, and in the bottom I'm going to do the minus sign, but x minus y equals 10. Alright, so I know that my y's are going to cancel out because they're the same sign, and when you subtract, you'll be able to cancel them out. What I need to do is the math on the side, that 2 minus 1, that's going to be the coefficient of x. How is it a 1? Because it's imaginary, remember. The x has an imaginary 1 in front of it. So this is going to be 1. So I'm going to be able to come down here and put 1x, or just x by itself, equals, and I'm going to do 17 minus 10, which is going to give me 7. So x equals 7. Okay, I'm going to plug it into whichever one I want. I'm going to do the bottom one just because 7 minus y is equal to 10. I'm going to subtract 7 for both sides to be able to get the y by itself. I'm going to get negative y equals 3. 10 minus 7 is 3. I'm going to underline both of these to show that I'm going to divide, because remember, I can't have a negative 1 for the y. It has to be a positive 1. That's how I know that I'm done with my solving my equation. So I'm going to de-underline this and do negative 1 on both. Then y will equal negative 3. I'm going to tab over to say that my answer is 7, comma, negative 3. Alright, let's go to this one. This one right here has, both of them have a plus and a minus. That means I'm going to just use addition. So 3x plus y equals negative 14. Underneath I put a plus, negative 2x minus y equals 9. I'm going to underline the whole thing to show that, hey, this is going to be my result. Press enter, de-underline. I'm going to show my math up here at the top by tabbing over. 3 plus a negative 2 equals 1. I tabbed over too much. And then on the side is going to be negative 14 plus negative. Not plus negative 9, just plus 9. That's going to equal negative 5. And when I write it down here, I'm going to put this x, because it's a 1, equals negative 5. Alright, so we got my answer there. I didn't even have to divide by anything. Alright, I'm going to use the top one just because I used the bottom one in the last two. 3 times negative 5 equals, plus y equals negative 14. This is negative 15 plus y equals negative 14. I'm going to add 15 to get rid of it to both sides. So positive y is equal to a positive 1. Tab over, that means my answer is negative 5 because that's the x value, comma 1. Alright, so this is what you're going to do, okay, for these two. So you have 4 problems to get done. Make sure to ask for help, email, whatever you need to do to make sure you get these problems right before you submit it. Thank you.